Hello friends, welcome back to Farming the Beautiful Basics. This month we are learning all about water bath canning, pressure canning, and preserving food in general for our families, which I feel like a lot of it is a lost art. I myself was very scared of pressure canning, so I had Anna teach that class and she took me along in a video. Tito is missing Bella. I'm sorry, you're probably going to hear him throughout the video. But I had her come over and teach me because I was terrified of pressure canning. One time of her showing me how to pressure can, it was like a light bulb just came on because I realized how easy it was. Kind of like making soap with lye. It really isn't as scary as it seems. It's just something that is not as common anymore. It's just become a lost art and it's mysterious. You can literally preserve meat for your family during the winter just simply by, let me show you this. This is chicken that will be used for chicken pot pie or chicken tacos or something like, a chicken salad. I literally just get out one of these. It doesn't have to be refrigerated or anything. We'll be talking about this, but a lot of people are scared. If that seal is on tight, you have no worries there. And it's pretty obvious, even with it pops. I know a lot of people are scared of things like botulism, but you just have to know what to look for. We're gonna cover all of that. But today I'm making some pickled corn. Now, corn is not something you would typically water bath because you need a high acidity. You do things like tomatoes, stuff that has that is more acidic, kind of like pickles and different things like that. Corn is not one of them, so corn would need to be pressure canned in order for it to can safely and properly. That being said, we're pickling the corn. So we're putting acidity into that corn and we're able to pickle the corn and then we can water bath it and it will be canned safely that way. So I'm going to take you along today. I'm already chopping up some of my corn. I wasn't actually going to start this video until I was done, but I was like, you know what, I might as well just take them along in it. Just as quick to do it this way. And pickled corn is so simple. All you do is cut your corn off the ears. I'm going to give you guys a recipe, but really, you can wing this pretty easily as long as you have your vinegar in there. I'm just going to go ahead, cut my ears off, and then I throw all of my ingredients into a pot. And then we will boil it. And after you boil it, then we will pour it into the jars and we will give it a nice water bath. And after that, the cans will pop and you will have beautiful jars of pickled corn to take out during the winter time when nothing is growing and you can enjoy it, which I just think is a beautiful thing. Can while everything is nice and fresh and nutritious, and preserve that food while you can, and then in the wintertime you reap the benefits. So we're gonna make the pickled corn, but I needed to come down to my garden because I realized I didn't have my peppers. Also, my cows would really appreciate this corn that I chopped up. So I'm gonna take you guys down here too with me. Hey pretty girl, do you guys want some corn? You guys want some? Oh yes, you want some, Maggie. Here she comes. Come on, Maggie. Slowly but surely, she's got to stretch. Here, girls. Want some corn cobs? Hey, pretty lady. Didn't really plan on doing a garden update, but it's completely filled to the max with flowers and vegetables, and still I need more room. So next year we'll be expanding this a lot more. One of Bella's bell peppers, if I can twist it off. There we go. Where did I drop it? There it is. Perfect. But I do need a small pepper. And then I need a banana pepper or two. flowers are just incredible. We're leaving them all up for the bees though. And we have a lot of tomatoes we need to be picking right now. Oh my goodness, so much. One more pepper I'm gonna need. Okra, because I think I'm gonna pickle some okra with the corn. Oh my gosh, look how pretty that is. Is that not beautiful? I have another pepper in there I need to pick. Whoa. Oh my, the land of the lost. There we go. I want to show you guys what we have going on here. I'm going to give you a basic recipe for the corn, but you can really add in whatever you want. So I've got garlic, I've got hot and mild banana peppers, I've got some red onions, I've got some red okra, purple okra, whatever you call it, and then we have peppers. And so I'm going to add all of this into my pot and we're going to boil this. So we're adding the last of my vinegar. I'm going to bring this to a boil. And now I'm going to add a little bit of my sugar. Like I said, I'm going to give you guys like a recipe to follow for this. I wish you guys could smell this right now. It's amazing. And also, I feel like everybody needs a muumuu dress. My granny always wore muumuu dresses when she was home. And I have like embraced my granny side because I feel like this is more like a muumuu because it's so big. Oh my gosh, it's comfortable. All right, so I'm gonna give this a nice stir. I'm sorry. Tito, Bella's coming home soon. It's okay, buddy. Bella, while I film, Bella goes right down the road to her cousin's. Oh my goodness, it smells good. And Tito just can't even deal, like he misses her so much. All right, so this is done boiling. So I'm gonna move this over here. And I'm gonna go ahead and start heating up my water for our water bath. So I've got my clean and sterile jars that I just cleaned in warm soapy water. And then I've also got, I'll bring you over here actually to show you. Over here I have my clean sterile jars. I have my tops. They're just sitting in hot water that I brought to a boiling point, turned it off. We have our pickled corn. And then we have our water bath that is, I've got it on high. And I'm just letting that come to a boil. I'm just gonna ladle my corn into the jars. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna leave. I usually just stop when I get to this point right here. The one thing that's super important not to skip is wiping the rims of your canning jars, because if there is anything obstructing this part right here, let me take this off and show you. This little guy right here will not seal properly on there. So I'm just going to take that my hot top, make sure I've got it on there correct. And now I'm ready to start my water bath. While I'm putting the lids on my jars, I just want to take a second to talk about how simple water bath canning is. You basically heat up water in a pot, and then you're going to put your jars into that pot, making sure that they're covered, usually 2 inches above the jars. And then you're going to boil it for as long as it takes for whatever you're making. So my corn, it needed 15 minutes boiled. So I just leave it in there for 15 minutes, and then whenever that timer is up, I pull the jars out, I sit them in a spot for 24 hours, and that's it. That's it. Like, you have canned pickled corn. That's just how simple it really is. There's nothing fancy to it. You obviously want to make sure that the tops have sealed properly, and you'll be able to see in the middle the dent that was there's a little dent that you could push up and down, but that will actually seal and pull in towards the jar, and you will not be able to push down on it any longer. But water bath canning is very, very easy to do. So I'm going to show you here. I already have my jars ready. I'm just simply putting them into their hot water bath. Yes, I should probably invest in one of those jar lifters. I've never bought one before, but probably now's the time. I don't recommend you dropping them in with your fingers. I feel like I don't really feel heat as much as most people do. And my sister-in-law is the same way. It's funny, we were talking about it, where we've just burnt the ends of our fingers so much, the nerves they've gave up. They're like, that's fine. You can just use your fingers and we're just gonna take our leave here. But you can see I have all the jars covered. There's about 2 inches of water, so I'm just gonna sit my lid on top. I don't lock my lid on. I sit it on top. This is my pressure canner, but we're water bath canning. Right here, it's very, very hot, so you don't wanna touch it. Like I'm doing. I'm just telling you that so you don't burn yourself. It is really hot. I've cooked so much with my fingers, they're burnt on the ends. And I think I've like caused nerve damage or something because I feel heat, but not as much as I should, that's for sure. So I've removed all of my cans. I'm beginning another water bath because I've just got 4 more jars that I really want to finish up. So I've already wiped my rims here. I'm actually going to wipe this rim off with something on it. You should begin hearing your jars pop within the first 24 hours. This little thing right here will pop down. It is suctioning and sealing, letting you know that you're safe and you're good to go. I will say, let me go get another jar and I'll show you, but another way to tell if your jar has sealed, and Anna showed me this, and I was like, what are you doing? That one was hot. Whew. That one is a little hot. This is how simple canning can be, because you don't have to have fancy equipment. My grandparents gave me this pressure canner, and that's all I've used. And I'm going to show you real quick what I was talking about. You can remove your rims after your jars have popped, but if you pick it up, it should be able to hold its weight without the top just coming off. And that lets you know you've got a nice seal going on there. So all of our cans are taken out. Some of them have already started popping. Typically it takes up to 24 to 48 hours. Usually not 48 hours, but I have had some that have taken a long time to pop. So I'll usually let mine just sit for a day, and you'll be able to show you this one right here, because it's already popped, and you can tell when you push down it's not popping back up. So that one is already popped. And once these have cooled, once they have all sealed, then you can put them away. Make sure that you label them. I'm the worst at not labeling things, and then I have to play the guessing game or just open it up, and you just don't want to do that. You can get the cute little label makers, or you can just stick tape on it and write with a Sharpie, whatever you prefer. But it's very simple. Water bath canning is so easy. So I just want to talk for a second about pressure canning and water bath canning. They're two separate things. Water bath canning is when you have acidic foods and you simply can prepare whatever you're doing, whether it be pickles or like we just did pickled corn. It doesn't matter. You can just prepare it, put it into the jars, and immediately just water bath it for 10 minutes and you're good to go. 10-15 minutes. Pressure canning is when you have low acidic foods like fish, any kind of meat really. I'm trying to think. Corn is another thing, but we just pickled our corn. That's the thing. We added enough vinegar into it to make it an acidic food at this point. But if you're just wanting to can corn with water and salt, you're going to have to use a pressure canner. The reason for that is these foods are not acidic, and so they have a lot of bacteria. Any food has bacteria present that can be very harmful, and if you don't bring it up to about 200, did you just hear that? One of those popped. You have to bring it to 240 degrees Fahrenheit or higher in order to make sure that your food is safe. That cannot be done with a water bath. You have to use a pressure canner for that. And so that will make sure that any of the bacteria spores that are already present in your food do not turn harmful for you. people are scared of bacteria. Bacteria is not a bad thing. There's good bacteria, there's bad bacteria. However, the bacteria can turn bad if you're not careful. So that is the whole point of low acidic foods need to be pressure canned for them to be safe. A lot of people are scared of botulism, however you say that. And I understand that, but at the same time, if you use your common sense whenever you're opening a jar, just be on the lookout. I'm going to show you real quick. First of all, this top should be dipped in because it should have sealed. Now sometimes you can get a false seal, but with a false seal, you're typically going to be able to tell when you open it. So first of all, we're gonna hold it up like this and shake it. With a false seal, a lot of times it will come off because it's not properly sealed on there. And so another thing is when you open it, if there's foam, if there's mold, if it's seeping out in any way, if there's rust on the inside, common things that you would look for. If it smells bad, if it smells a little off, typically it's pretty easy to be able to tell, okay, this jar is not any good anymore, or this jar is okay. It's not really that hard. So when I was wanting to open up a bakery, I had to go to UT and take all of my classes. And they really scared me because they showed all these slides of way back in the day, and they had like coffins lined up, and it was like a family, and they'd all died of botulism because they ate bad food. What they didn't tell me was that family had been starving. You go back and read the story. It was during the Great Depression. The family had no food, and so they were basically trying to eat whatever they could. So typically people aren't going to open up and, you know, eat something that botulism has, the bacteria spores have created bad bacteria. There's pretty typical signs usually that you will be able to tell. Chris, he's wanting to be petted. There's pretty easy signs that you can tell that, okay, I shouldn't be eating this. And so you want to make sure that you look out for stuff like that, but don't be so scared that you're not going to eat your own canned food, because it's not that difficult to do this. Just follow the safety procedures, clean jars, make sure that you boil or heat these up, the top lids, the two pieces. Make sure that they're clean and boiled in clean water. And then you wipe the rims off. You're going to put those on tightly, and then you boil it at the precise time. I'm going to link a few places that I use, because you want to make sure that you're at the right pressure when you're pressure canning, and you want to make sure that you're boiling your food for the proper amount of time. So if you follow I don't know if you just heard that, but another one popped. But if you follow a few of the simple basic steps that there are for canning, whether it be water bath or pressure canning, anybody can do this. And it's so simple, and it's a wonderful way to preserve food during time when you're gathering it from your garden or buying it from your local farmer, and it's at its peak for nutrition, and then you're able to can that and preserve it for your family, and then go into your cabinet and open it up during the winter time, and you have fresh food that you have prepared and preserved for your family. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed this segment of Farming the Beautiful Basics.